All right, welcome everybody. It is Monday. It's the, if memory serves me right, it's the 16th or 17th of October. Here on the East Coast, we are looking at 8 p.m. West Coast, we're looking at 5 p.m. And I'm not sure we have anyone from Australia, but over there it is like 10 a.m. tomorrow. So this business is global, this opportunity is global, and we have people popping in from everywhere. Welcome everyone. My name is Knut, as I said. We have another person I just saw pop on, Barbara. She's a executive director with the company, which is the next level up. It's a big step, and we'll hear from her in a few minutes. Let's get going. What do all of these people have in common, including you yourself? Well, we all have something in common. It's called stem cells. For those of you who don't know what stem cells are, the stem cells are basically the basic building blocks of our body. So when we're born, we pop out into this world, we are a soup of stem cells, because stem cells have this unique property that they can turn themselves into any other cell that the body requires. It could be a heart cell, it could be an intestine, it could be a pancreas, it could be a liver. And the power of the stem cell is then that they can recreate and help rejuvenate and expand your body as it grows from newborn to adolescence and onwards. There's only one small problem, and that is as we grow older, the less stem cell activity or master cell activity we have. By the time we hit 30, 50% of all our active master cells or stem cell have gone dormant. By the time we are 60, almost 100% of all the master cells have gone dormant. That's a problem, because the fewer active master cells we have, it means that the faster we age and the slower we heal. And if you look at the right-hand side here, here's an example of where this phototherapy patch called X39 can be worn on the back of your neck. It's an ideal position. The good thing with the X39 patch itself is that you can wear it anywhere on your body. I personally wear mine on the arm because I have something to talk about. And people say, what's that? And I say, well, it's a phototherapy patch that reactivates my own stem cells. And they go, wow, tell me more. The symptoms that you can see, that you can experience when the dormant master cells start happening at a more frequent rate, is that you get tired faster, you have brain fog, you have increased fatigue, you're used to doing X amount of yard work or going for a walk or playing with the grandkids. But as we grow older, that effort now takes more out of your body and you get tired faster. If you have an injury, like you roll your ankle, you have a surgery, it just takes longer to recover, basically. You'll probably have a few sleep challenges, as in you're tossing and turning at night and you don't get a good night's sleep as you used to. And also when you're out and about and you're doing some work, you will find in most instances as we grow older that our muscle and or skeleton will start creaking a bit. We will have some issues in and around that we don't recover as quickly as possible. So how did this stem cell, this phototherapy patch called X39 come about? The inventor, he's actually the CEO and the founder of the company called LifeWave, David Schmidt. He, in 2003, 2004, thereabout, was asked by DARPA here in the US to see if he could find a way where the Navy SEALs and the boomers, the submariners, could stay awake longer with a high level of alertness and energy without having to resort to things like amphetamines and drinking coffee. And he came up with the very first patch, which is called an energy enhancer, which is still available today. It's an amazing little product. And when it first came out, people said, oh, it's doping and it's this and it's that, because a lot of athletes started using it. And so happened, excuse me, it so happened that they went through all the testing organizations for the Olympic teams here in the US, anti-doping in the college and collegiate sports, and it came out clean as a whistle. And he has taken the last 10 years to focus explicitly on age reversing. And when we say reversing, we mean reversing. There are studies out there, which I'll talk about in a second, but it actually reverses the age of your body. The X39 patent took 10 years and $4.5 million to bring to market. And it was launched in 2019 here in the US, and it's now available in 75 plus countries around the world. The X39 patch itself is patented. As you can see here on the right, the patent was granted in July 2020. And if I read directly from the patent itself, this is what it says. Embodiments as such, as a result of elevating copper peptide, including activation of stem cells, improvement in energy, elevation of antioxidants, reduction in inflammation, management of pain, improvement in stamina, elevation of collagen production, and improved wound healing. Who wouldn't like some of that? I sure as hell, I do want. And I find that a lot of people, when they hear this, they go, "Now that's not possible." One of the questions I frequently get is that I need to go and speak with my doctor before I try this. And I say, well, you know, let me use an analogy. I say, imagine that you cut your finger in the kitchen, you're chopping up some potatoes or carrots. What do? You walk over and you rinse it off in water, clean it off, and put a Band-Aid on it. But what's happening in your body at that moment in time is that your stem cells are now rushing to that area, and they're converting themselves from stem cells to skin cells because it wants to repair. And I'm pretty sure that you're not going to run off to the doctor every time you cut your finger or you prick a needle in your finger to say, hey, doc, should I allow my stem cells to actually help me repair my body? That kind of makes sense, right? So the activation of this thing called the GHK copper peptide, which was referred to on the previous, actually we referred to here, that in itself is what then reactivates your own stem cells. There's no injections, there are no medications, and it's completely non-transdermal. It's a proprietary form of phototherapy. What does that mean? Well, it uses light. So if you stand outside in the sun, you actually get exposed to phototherapy. The sun hits your skin, or the sun rays rather, and that in itself activates certain biomechanical mechanisms in your body. But what's so unique about these patches is that on the back, I'm going to hold one up here. On the back of each patch, it's a patented nanocrystal technology. I hope you can see it. It's wafer thin. It's just over the size of a quarter. And that nanocrystal technology, it acts like a mirror. Imagine when you wake up in the morning, you get out of bed, your bed linen is nice and warm. And that is the infrared heat coming out of you. The heat coming out of you can be measured as an infrared light source, so to speak. This patch sits on top of your skin, just like this, and it acts like a mirror. And it takes a very specific frequency and it gently returns that into your skin, which then starts off the whole chain process. It's incredibly smart and sophisticated technology. And the fact that David managed to put it into this little patch it's remarkable. It's completely non-transdermal, meaning that nothing goes through your skin. And as I said earlier, there are no drugs, chemicals, or stimulants, which means that there's no need to even go to see a doctor. So someone says, is this FDA compliant or FDA registered? We are FDA compliant as a health, as we have to register with the FDA basically. And they go, yeah, go ahead, because there's no medications, nothing goes through the skin. We just know of you. We don't need to basically run you through a whole bunch of laboratory tests and so forth. It is what it is. The key thing here is that LifeWave products are not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure or prevent any disease or medical condition. We are just allowing the body to repair itself and return itself to a younger, more healthful and youthful state. So what are some of the benefits of X39? I have a feeling that a lot of people on this call will probably say, well, I'd like to have all of them. I have a young man here in Tallahassee, he's 26, and he had some problems with his knee. He was out playing, I think, football or something like that, and he managed to roll his knee. And after 6 weeks of using the X39, he's now back into running, and he is now doing squats again in the gym. He goes, my doctor said I needed surgery. I said, well, obviously your doctor didn't quite know what he was talking about, because he's now doing what he wants to do, which is running and doing some squats, lifting some weights. Reduce inflammation. A lot of, should we say, discomfort and serious levels of discomfort comes from inflammation, and the X39 itself will help reduce that at the same time as starting to repair and regenerate the damage where the inflammation sits. Mental clarity and improvement of sleep. I can speak to mental clarity myself. I've been in IT for 40 years, and when I started wearing the patches, I had a whole different level of doing coding and solving problems. Improved skin appearance. We'll see a couple of pictures in a couple of slides, and yes, the improvement, what it does to collagen in the skin is quite remarkable. And then, of course, things like the stamina and energy and vitality. People go for longer, needing less sleep, find that they actually recover a lot quicker as well. So here are some of the long-term results that you can get from X39. In the first few days, 4,000 plus genes begin to reset. That's incredible. Within 6 weeks, your brain becomes balanced. And what does that mean? Well, there are people who have had PTSD, they have stress, they have depression, people have had other brain-related issues. In fact, we have a gentleman here in Tallahassee who's got Asperger's. And within 10 to 15 minutes of applying a patch to the back of his neck, he was in a position that he could stand in a room with noise and have a normal conversation with me. No interference, no issues with noise or anything like that. Within 3 months, your collagen is increased to the extent that a lot of lines and wrinkles are gone. And within 6 months, your hearts begin to reverse in age. We have studies that in 60 days, the age or the elasticity of the vascular system reversed in age in 60 days or 8 weeks. Basically went backwards in age. It's not anti-aging, it's age reversing. And we are seeing this again and again and again, how it affects the body, how people recover, how people bounce back from exercise, and how people recover from surgery and the likes. And doctors in medical professions, they are in general amazed of the speed at which it takes for people, or the shorter time space it takes for people to recover. How do you wear the X39? It's very simple. You wear 12 hours on and 12 hours off. Then throw away the patch. Some of us do have some four-legged friends, and we find that we can actually reuse the X39 for our four-legged fur friends as well. If they have an ailment or if they're stressed, we can actually extend and use them on the animals as well. You can wear more than one patch at any given time. The typical recommended position is behind the neck or underneath your belly button. But as I said, if you have a topical injury, like you have rolled your ankle or your knee, there's no problem sticking the X39 directly on that area. Same if you've had surgery, put the X39 patch close to the bandage, and the patches are basically activated and operate within 3 inches of your skin. Make sure that you drink plenty of water, please, because your body will have a natural rebuild effect, also known as a little bit of detoxification, and that's completely normal. Excuse me, I just need to have a swig of water here.
What's wrong with your foot?
Oh, just a minute ago at recess. It just started hurting and then I
You need to not run around at recess like that when it's time for you to do one time.
Could you all please mute yourself, whomever is online here?
Then
Okay, I think I have muted everybody. I'll come back again. Hello, Koya. All right, we'll go back to share. There we go. Now, there's one caveat that I have to make, or there's actually two. Number one, if you're on chemo, wait till you finish the chemo, then you can start wearing the X39 again. Or if you have an organ transplant or you're the recipient of an organ transplant, please don't use it because we don't want the received organ to start producing its own stem cells again and cause an interference with the anti-rejection drugs. We don't want that. So those are the two caveats that we have typically. I hope that makes sense. Yeah. It's actually so sophisticated, yet so simple to explain. We're going to hear a few testimonials about the patch, what it does. The best thing about X39, it absolutely works. We have thousands and thousands and thousands of testimonials. One question that I do get is, oh, I've been wearing the patches now for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I don't feel nothing. Well, my retort to that, and a lot of people, other people as well, is 90% of your body is non-sensitory, meaning that, for example, you will never feel your nails growing. You will never feel your hair growing or your beard growing if you're male. You will not feel that your skin is replacing itself every 3 months, but it is. So if you have, for example, a sore knee and you think that X39 is going to fix that right away, well, you could put an X39 close to that area, but chances are that the X39 and the reactivation of your own stem cells has got some more important things to do. It's working on something that the stem cells deem more important than fixing some soreness in the knee. So it absolutely works. The company itself, LifeWave, it's entering into its 20th year next year. Started in 2004. And in 2017-18, the company turned over $25 million. We just came from a conference in Orlando, the National Convention, and the CEO is on the stage basically saying that we are now 20 times bigger than it was when the patch was released, the X39 patch. So being conservative, we're looking at $450, $500 million in revenue over the last 3.5 years. Where most organizations in this business, in this industry, goes backward in this time, this company is just surging forwards. And that's just amazing, amazing. And we've got some glimpses of what's coming in the next year or two. And it's to say that it's revolutionary what's coming, it's an understatement. So let's switching tack here for a second. We said something about collagen a little bit earlier. Rosemary, as you can see on the top, in May 2022, she got involved with the patches. And in December 2022, look at the difference. There are no injections, there's no surgery, there's no extra medications, no nothing. It's just the patches doing his work. This gentleman here on the right, just underneath the 7, on the right-hand side of the 7, you can see the X39 patch. He fell through the rafters on a construction site. He broke 6 ribs, and the doctor said it will take you 6 weeks to get back to work. The difference between picture 1 on June the 17th and June 30th, that's 13 days. No bruising next to no bruising left. And he was back at work in 3 weeks as opposed to the 6 weeks. The guy in the bottom left, you can just see the increase of hair growth. And that is, again, when this body begins to rebalance itself and starts getting into a younger state. This chap in the middle here, that's me. The turquoise shirt there, that was in May when I got started with the patches. And the red one there is 4 months later. And I have to say this, I didn't go to the gym. I didn't change what I was eating. I didn't start lifting weights in the backyard. I didn't start running. Didn't do any push-ups or sit-ups. Didn't change my diet, as I said, and I still drank as much beer as I ever did. And the best thing is the mental clarity that came to me. It's just unreal, just unreal. I'm going to press escape here for a second, and I will probably have time for 2 or 3 or 4 people who would like to jump in and give a couple of testimonials. That would be awesome. Any wave your hands or anything like that, if you would like to, if you have anything to say. No one? I didn't know we had shy people on this call.
I'll say something.
Yes, ma'am. Off you go.
Hello, everybody. I'm a tennis player, and I found these patches because I had pulled my calf muscle when I was playing tennis, and I was off the tennis court, and I wasn't happy about that. So a friend of mine, after I was in a lot of pain, I called her. She showed me this X39 patch before, but I just didn't see any need for it. Famous last words. And I actually put the patch on, and within about half an hour, I was able to walk. My pain was reducing very quickly. I played tennis the next day. It was incredible. And I ended up winning the tournament, which was even more incredible that weekend. Whereas if I hadn't used the patch, I probably would have been in bed with my foot up. So that was how I found the patches, and I kept wearing the X39, and I just have a lot more energy and vitality. My recovery has 500% improved. It was amazing. I don't have the soreness, muscle soreness that I used to have, and I could go on and on. But from that perspective, it's changed my life.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you. I see Barbara has unmuted herself.
Oh.
Yeah, or I said I could add in while we're on the speaker.
Okay, that's fine. Hang on 1 second, Barbara.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm so lucky that I have a brother, a big brother. And so I live in Norway. We're Norwegians. And I'm a former top athlete skier with the national team of Norway for many, many years, and a world champion. And what I hold dearly is my health and my body. And so part of what I said when Knut and Julie shared this with me is I really want to be preventive. I want to keep on being fit, even though I don't train and do the exercise as I did, of course. So that's why I've been curious on this, is how to keep on having a good health. And so there are 2 things I want to share. This summer, I was in an accident in Africa, so I almost lost the tip of my finger. It was just hanging in the out tip here. So my nail was gone. And the doctors that operated me in Africa said, you won't have a nail back again. And I came back home in Oslo. I went to the hospital for the checkup and the follow-up. And they said the same, actually. Don't expect to get the nail back here. But of course, I'm using the X39, and I'm using my own visionary intentions. And this is my body, so I'm working with my body. And here the nail is growing out again. So that's one good thing. And another thing is my eyesight. That was -2. And after a few months now, it's down to -1. So that's just a little bit of it. Very satisfied.
Thank you, Trudy. Thank you. Appreciate it. It's good to have you over, by the way. Barbara, sorry.
No, that's okay. That was really interesting. Thank you. So I will tell you two things. One, many of you have heard already, but it's such a powerful experience for me that I'd like to share it again. Because when I first learned about this technology 2 years ago, I had stage 3 kidney failure. And so my kidneys were on the way out, and my blood work was really bad, and I was very concerned. And of course, the medical world doesn't really have anything to assist in that recovery. And so then I got the call about the technology and these wonderful little patches. And so the good ending to that story is that it took time, but in 14 months, and my numbers were getting better. You go in for your regular blood work. And anyway, I was getting better numbers each time. But finally, after 14 months, my kidneys are working beautifully. And even the numbers are getting even better. But I'm in the normal range. Everything's fine. And of course, that's just a huge miracle to me. But I also wanted to share a story that I heard at our convention, which we've all just gotten back from. And I just got in about an hour ago. Anyway, this is just so powerful. It's a young boy, a teenager, about 17, who had a lot of behavioral problems and depression and suicidal tendencies. And his parents, of course, had a lot of difficulty keeping him in school. And he started using the X39. And actually, I mean, just within days, the change was huge. And he, for the first time in all his years, he completed a full day of school. And he, 3 weeks later, he was still in school and hadn't missed. And his whole demeanor and attitude is brighter. And he's actually doing his homework and getting good grades. Anyway, a huge, huge turnaround.
Fantastic. Fantastic. And there's hundreds, if not thousands, of testimonials like this. It's remarkable. We have a channel where you can search anyone. If you come across something, you can be searched. Was listening to a conversation. I think I'm taking your words here, Tammy. But Tammy, could you just jump on and for a second talk about the quick conversation you have with Onyx about chronic being completely always tired and all that, if you're in position to talk?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so I've got a gal that I just met this last month, and she started wearing the X39, and I needed to find out, how the X39 or any of the other patches would help with chronic fatigue. And so I thought, okay, I thought Onyx was walking around our table, giving out hugs and talking to people and stuff. And I thought, okay, now here's my chance. So I went and talked with her about it. And I said, what would you do? And she says, it's just simple. Just wear the X39 patch. And, everybody that she has worked with, that she's just used the X39 patch, nothing else, that they have, how do you say, not remission, but the chronic fatigue has gone away.
Awesome. And that's just the X39 over a period of time, be it a couple of weeks or?
Yeah, she said like 3 to 4 weeks is when they'll start noticing a difference.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, I'm going to switch tacks a little bit, unless anyone has a desperate 1 minute. Anyone waving? Nope. I can't see any hands flagging around. Then I'm going to switch back to the share. Now I need to see what it says down the bottom of the screen. Here we go. Share. In my PowerPoint go? I probably need to do that. Here we go. And we're going to race forward. Here we go. Now, everything of course is the benefits we get from these patches is health, wellness, but there's actually a wealth or money aspect on this side as well. It is a business, it's genuinely a business. But the question then becomes, if you were looking for something, would it be something to supplement or augment your as an extra income stream? People who want more money these days tend to go out and get themselves a second job or a third job, or if they're still alive, have a fourth job. I know people who are working double shifts over the weekend to make ends meet. I know somebody who just wants to have some extra money to pay for the grandchildren's piano lessons. What are we to judge? But someone said to me the other day, over the last 3-4 years, has the world economy improved? Has the American economy improved? Has your own personal economy improved? And if it continues the way it's going at the moment, what are the chances that it's going to be better or worse at this time next year? So people are desperately looking, they're definitely looking for something else that can help increase the revenue streams or increase the income to the families. It might be something as simple as you just want to pay for your own patches. And the way we do that, the company NetLife Wave uses a network marketing system to distribute products and share the profits. And everybody probably said, oh, that's great, until they heard just what I said there. This is not a Me Too product. Virtually every other single company in this market, in this particular line of business, have a Me Too product. As in protein powder, vitamins, makeup, skincare, you name it. But no one has the X39 patch. No one. It's patented. No one can have it for the next 16.5 years. That is remarkable. So how do we make money? How do we actually get things going here? And it's very simple. Knowing 4 people, sharing this remarkable, unique technology with 4 people who says, yeah, I would like some of that. I would like to have less stress. I would like to have some better sleep. And what we do is that we introduce 2 people, what we call on the left team, and 2 people on the right team. And at that moment in time, you yourself would be recognized as what we call a manager. And at that moment in time, when that happens, you should just about have repaid your own investment to get going in this. As this thing grows and gets bigger, and there's a certain structural requirement required here as well. But at this level in the compensation plan, this is the 3rd level in the compensation plan. I'm not going to go into the previous 2. You can earn up to $25,000 each week. This is what we call a cycle bonus, up to $25,000 a week. I mean, I think most people in the United States, here in Florida, I think the average income is $36,000. So $1,000 extra per week, $750 per week would make a massive, massive difference. That's $36,000, $750 a week would equate to $36,000. When was the last time your boss said, hey, son, I'm going to double your pay? That never, ever happens, right? A little bit of a disclaimer down the bottom here. LifeWay makes no promises or guarantees regarding income. The success or failure of each LifeWay brand partner, like any other business, depends on your skills and your personal efforts. You should not rely on these results or the LifeWay brand partners as an indicator of what you will earn. So that out of the way. As I said, this is the 3rd level bonus. And the next part here is really, really, really what got my attention, especially the 3 words that sits on the 2nd line. It says an unlimited income potential, unlimited. What does that mean? Well, if this person sitting here on the top left is you, or maybe I should use my name in there, I'll put my name in here, Knut. And I happen to know Jack, and Jack knows Anne, and Anne knows Pete. Based on the structure that we saw on the previous slide, so Jack would be earning $2,000 a week. But since I introduced Jack, the company will pay me a 25% override. That's $500. Anne will introduced by Jack. Well, since I found Jack, I will get 20% of that $1,500 paid to me on top. That's $300. So now we have $500, $300, and Pete, this is where it ends up. It's 500, I get 20% of that as well. So we have 500, 300, and 100. That's $900. How many Jacks can I find? And that's where it's unlimited. How many Jacks can I speak to over the next year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years? We personally know of people who have spoken to more than 1,000 people in a year. That's where it's unlimited. You might want to tap out over here at 25,000. That's good. Let's say you have 50 people on this side and you're earning $800, $900 a week from each one of them. And that's perfectly possible. As you see on the right-hand side, there's some additional requirements. But okay, we're not going to delve into those at this moment in time. This is just an overview. But as you can see, there's a lot of money in this. The company is growing at the rate of knots. Sometimes I like to say, if someone had offered you the opportunity in 2006 to buy shares in Apple because they were just about to launch the iPhone, would you? Of course you would. And it's kind of the same here. This concept of stem cells and stem cell reactivation, or master cells and master cell reactivation, it's a huge market, and it's just rolling on faster and faster. So we have, in essence, 3 options that we like to suggest people will get going at. The initial investment for a silver package, a starter package, gives you 3x39, and it comes in at a $299.95. That in itself is a value or a saving of $150 over retail price. The business builder is the one that says, yeah, I'd like to get going. I would like to cover my expenses and have some money come back to me, and then I see what I do. We suggest that people come in at the gold level. That's $500. And the price per sleeve, or the envelopes that we have the patches in, goes down and down and down. When you come to the serious business builder, one who says, well, I'm a professional, I see that investment, I want to get this thing running, I want to run as quickly and hard and fast as possible. The diamond level is $1,600, but the price per unit now comes down to $84. That's a 15% saving of compared to the silver package and the gold package. The cool thing here as well is that you now have patches or sleeves available that you can share with people. Everybody here with this silver package, gold package, or the diamond package, you have some few patches extra, and you can actually go out and share them with people and say, stick it on your skin, let me know what happens. This is what we do. This is what we do every single time, every single time. Now you will see down here, it says a brand partner monthly subscription. Why would you want to be on a subscription? This is the 4th question I get. Do I have to be on these patches forever? No. I mean, I brush my teeth twice a day because I like to keep them. And it's kind of the same here, is that if I've had an opportunity, or my body has had an opportunity to repair itself, to restore itself to a younger self, why would I stop wearing the patches and let age start hitting me again? That doesn't make sense to me. So I'm on these patches till I sign off on this earth. And that's why it's so important to stay on a monthly subscription. 1 month is $99 per month. And it says something that the bolded section at number 3 is very important. You get to keep your points. What does that mean? Well, the system that we have, the binary system, works on some points. And every point that has not been used in a compensation plan on a weekly basis gets rolled forward to the next week, to the next week, to the next week. And that in itself is a massive value. We have a member in our team in Australia now who has $19,000 banked up. If she does not buy a product the following month, next month, she loses that money. Those points are gone. And when she wakes up and she's ready to do something, she's been sick and so forth, all she has to do is start adding people to her own personal team, and she start accessing that money. 2 sleep subscription, $199 per month. You get to keep your point, but you now also have a potential to max out the compensation plan at the $25,000 a week level. And of course, you have probably for 2 people, if it's you and your husband, you and a kid, you and your best friend, run it together, birds of a feather flock together. It's so much more fun to be able to map out and try these products together so you can share results. Oh, that fixed my neck. Oh, that helped my neck. Oh, that the stiffness and the soreness in my shoulders are gone. Oh, I can move my hips again. And one guy was saying, hey, I can actually go dancing again. Remarkable. So time is now really to make your move. We know this is happening. We're running into the busiest part of the season towards Christmas and coming in towards the new year. And people go, I want to have a new healthier me in 2024. Well, why not get started now? Why not let your body start repairing itself and get it going? And this is really hope. I really get this, is that people suddenly have hope when they can feel a little bit of an improvement of something in the first day or 5, and they go, oh, it doesn't mean I can get off my medication. Probably. Does it mean that I can actually get down and I can play with my grandchildren on the floor without having to worry about sore knees? You know, it is so important. We have also a weekly training schedule. I should mention this. What we have with the meeting we had today will be repeated tomorrow at 8 p.m. And Wednesday, 8 p.m., we have a training session. We're going to recap some of the highlights that we had at the global convention that was in Orlando on the weekend. And you're more than welcome to come in on that as well. The meeting ID is the same as it was today, the same password. So I'm going to flip off this. I'm going to stop the share. I'm going to stop the recording, and we have 12 minutes. Let me see.